critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication. This is what we need to be teaching children. The educational system is flawed. It's been the same for 300 freaking years. I don't care how old you are, if you're watching this video, we've all been taught the same way. You go into a concrete building, you sit at a desk, a human comes up who's earning $60,000 a year and gets great benefits and summers off, tells you about something, and then you get tested on it with a Scantron sheet. Long answer, short answer, you give the paper back, you get a grade, and if you get a good enough mark, you get moved up to the next level. This is our educational system, and it's the exact same as it used to be. The exact same. We are teaching kids the wrong skills. We're not teaching them any skills at all. We're giving them information, and guess what? They consume enough information as is. This is the last thing that they need to do. Teachers aren't responsible now for giving them more information. That's a complete waste of time. At least, that's what Yuval Noah Harari thinks. I almost forgot that name. Now, he's the guy who wrote the book Sapiens, which if you haven't read it, it's an amazing book, and he just wrote a new one, and the New York Times says, if you've ever thought about the future, you have to read this book. So this book is literally for every person on earth because we've all thought about the future. And you have to think about the future because that's how you plan. That's how you prepare for what's to come. That's how you master life. That's how you master the present moment. You need a plan for the future, okay? We understand that, and you need to ask great questions to achieve great answers. We got it. Now, Yuval suggests that in the year 2050, if we continue to educate kids like we do now, they are going to be screwed. And as I read this article, links in the description, I completely agree. Kids have enough information as it is. And no wonder we're in a mental health crisis with children. The information they consume outside of school it's not comparable to any other generation before it. They have everything in their pockets. They have a cell phone. As low as age 8 or 9, kids have cell phones. The world is in their hands. Unlimited information, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they go into school, and what happens? Teachers give them more information, a lot of it useless. A lot of it useless. How do we know it's useless? Well, think about what you remember from school. Really, what do you really remember from school? I bet you remember some great teachers, but you probably don't remember what they taught. I bet you remember some high school or elementary school friends. In university, you think I remember a lecture? You think I remember a certain class or something I learned? No, everything that is worth remembering to me happened outside the classroom. Happened in my social network. It built resilience when you go through some hardship. That's what you remember. That's what makes you stronger. That's what helps you deal with life as it comes up. Everything else you can learn now online. There's online courses. There's YouTube videos. There's a YouTube video on everything. You can learn anything from your pocket. But yet kids are going into classrooms and teachers are giving them more information about when the fur trade was, what the Industrial Revolution was, and other shit like that. The article was about what the world's going to be like in 2050, and who knows, with Neuralink and downloading your consciousness, and people think that's ridiculous, and I think absolutely not. If you showed a person 50 years ago your cell phone, they would have cut your head off. So there's no telling what technology will be like in the future, but we do know one thing. The only constant is change, and it won't be like this forever. And testing and grading children based on what they've memorized from a textbook is completely bullshit. And this needs to change right now. But of course, it's government run. And anything that runs through the government takes time. It takes a shitload of time. So, what are kids doing? Well, the steps are to go through elementary school, high school, university, college, then get a job, and join the working world. But these skills will no longer be needed that they have. They need the 4 C's. They need critical thinking skills. They need to know how to communicate, they need to be creative, and they need to know how to collaborate. Any job you will ever have in the world needs these 4. You don't need to know about Francis Drake. You don't. You can learn that on your own. So what Yuval argues is that the 4 C's are critical, that teachers and educational systems need to do a better job teaching soft skills. Soft skills. And let's talk about mental health for a while. Anxiety's on the rise. Depression's on the rise, especially in teens, adolescents. You're age 14 to 24. And they don't know how to deal with these things. Kids don't know how to deal with these things. Why? Because they're not taught it. They're not taught about what mental health is, what anxiety is, anxiety versus an anxiety disorder, mood regulation, emotional regulation. They don't know these things. They don't know what resilience is. You can't be taught resilience out of a textbook. So it's the classic argument, street smart or book smart. We're teaching kids to be book smart. And guess what? That doesn't mean shit in the real world. Because the educational system keeps you in a bubble. It's a beautiful bubble. And I know people who have done their PhDs and are still doing their PhDs, and it's an academic bubble. And they hate being in academia because the egos are huge and you know nothing of the real world. Everything's stuck within this framework, within this shield. We're teaching kids how to survive in this shield, but once they break through, they're fucked. They don't have the soft skills. What happens when your boss tells you that you did a shitty job? You're going to get anxious, you're going to get depressed, you're going to quit your job. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to these kids? You need the soft skills and you need the 4 C's. People don't know how to deal with depression because they're not taught about depression. They're not taught about mindfulness. They're not taught about the importance of eating healthy. They're not taught about the importance of exercise. And I'm not talking about fitness class or phys ed. Yes, it's important. Endorphins are good. Classic phys ed teacher lecture. Yeah, guys, exercising gets the blood moving, and you need to exercise because of endorphins. It's like, thanks, teach. And then years from now, it's the same line used. Yeah, endorphins, good for you. We need to teach kids the real reasons why they should develop themselves mentally and what the motivation is behind that and why it's important for their future. The whole system needs to change. And I know that can't happen overnight because it's government run, of course, and it's going to take time. But it starts slowly by recognizing that maybe we need after-school programs, right? Maybe we need new classes brought into school. Maybe we need some unconventional teachers to be brought into the educational system. Maybe we need principals that aren't over the age of fucking 50. Like, it's a real weird space, and I've had a bit of experience in it now, and oh my gosh, is it old-fashioned. Unbelievable, and I feel bad for the kids. I do. Because when we were growing up, and I'm 29 years old, well, there wasn't internet from the beginning. So the information they gave us was like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the library and get a real book. And I need to listen to my teacher because the teacher is telling me what I need to know and there's nowhere else to get it. But now, what do the adults know that the kids don't have access to? They have the soft skills. The teachers have the soft skills. They have the experience. They have the resilience. They have the life experience. That's what they need to teach kids. Why teach kids? The joke is with teachers, just stay one lesson ahead of the child. Well, guess what? The child can go 100 lessons ahead of you because they have a phone and they have the internet. Teachers' job should be teaching the soft skills, the 4 C's to prepare kids for the future. That's what needs to be taught. And we're not doing that now. And mental health is plummeting. The question in this article that Yuval speaks of is the question that's going to continue to come up is, who am I? As identities change, as information becomes more available, the who am I question is going to be huge. We need to talk to teachers. We need to talk to principals. We need to talk to the board of education. And they're comfortable. They're comfortable in their salary. They're comfortable in their unionized position. And they're old. And they're scared of change. And I don't blame them, man. It'd be a big change. And for the educational system being the same for 300 years, it's no wonder we don't want to change. We're very comfortable where it is. Yuval argues that this isn't so good. I would love to hear your opinion on this, about soft skills, changing our educational system, what it's like for you if you're still in school. What are you even learning about? What are you learning about? Please let me know. Like, comment. If you are a teacher, I'm sorry. And please comment below. Let's have an honest dialogue and tell me what you think. Stay strong. Keep being you. Don't forget to express yourself and question everything, just like we're doing right now. Let's question the educational system. The links are in the description below.